So the idea of this video should be straightforward to understand, that is, staying scrappy in a job interview might not actually be such a bad idea. And if you want a quick example here, just look at my most popular videos on my YouTube channel. They're not by far the ones where I look the best or sound the best. So in today's video, I'm going to give you 3 pointers to help you decide what works best for your case. And the first one I want to touch upon here is, does your role that you're applying for require your image to be in any way, a polished image, or for you to look particularly well for that matter? Because most of the time this does not happen, and the only 2 exceptions I may be thinking here, maybe for PR roles or maybe for senior finance roles, where you would expect a more formal conversation, but generally speaking, it should make no difference. So try to find out what type of setting would work best given the role that you're applying for. You could always search for people that already are in those types of roles to see more about them. Maybe you would understand a little bit more about the behaviors there. But this will be the first, if your role requires it or not. The second thing you want to address here is the quality of the image during that actual conversation, is the quality of the video and the quality of the sound going to impact you positively during that interview? In other words, if you have a better video quality, will it be better for you to perform during that job interview? Because if you think about it closely, if let's say they cannot see you for whatever reason, if they cannot see you but they can only hear you, that is not necessarily to your disadvantage. That might actually be to your advantage, because you're giving away less information about yourself. And I went a bit to the extreme here, but if they cannot see you that well in high definition, for example, then you give away less information, less visual clues about yourself for that job interview. And again, it might be something that you might take advantage of. I'm not telling you here you might be cheating, if they cannot see you well, but it's something that you must keep in mind, because the reactive approach is always that you want to get a better connection, a more stable video, a more high definition video, and the more professional sound possible. When in fact, you should really double check on these things. What's to your advantage here? And 3, and last but definitely not least, is human bias. Like bias, interviewing bias is a thing for many years now. But human bias is actually something that we're made of. So what if you research a little bit about your interviewer online? What type of person are they, if you know who you'll be interviewing with? Because oftentimes you'll find out very interesting information about them to help you decide what kind of setup works best for you. For example, if they're a photographer, that you'll know that chances are they will appreciate the composition of of your presence, of your setup during the job interview. Whereas if they're a more informal type of person, they couldn't care less. So this would be some examples here, but definitely you can find a lot more interesting information if you know, of course, who you'll be interviewing with, and if you can find a couple of social media posts maybe about them and see more about these things. So this would be the elements that I want to touch upon to help you decide on whether staying scrappy during a job interview, or having the best possible quality, or looking as professional as possible, which of these 2 are the best approach in your specific case. And of course, it's also a matter of your time and resources invested in the process, but I hopefully give some interesting information as to how you should think about these things going into a job interview.